when anytime we were with Johan, we're about 3 minutes in. He goes, "Are we recording?" We go, "No." He goes, "Okay then," and he just fucking unloads for like 25 minutes before we get going, and then like dials. If we could ever release that, which we never could, but like it would be gold.
Is that where the lion? Is that where the lion came
from?
I
knew
it.
We are recording right now, by the way, and this is going on YouTube before the show.
We won't talk. We'll talk about that. We won't talk about the lion.
Yeah,
I know. One day I'll have to find out what happened.
The lion and it has to do with the lion, the mane, and being cold. So it's apparently it's a South African saying.
Yeah.
So ask your friendly South Africans.
All right, so we've got actually I text you anything you want to talk about, and
I
everything you text me apart from the pro flight was on there. Okay. So I'll just go through the list. I was going to have you introduce yourselves, talk about you and Leon, how the Paddleboys began.
Yep.
Noah, if you want to walk away for a couple of minutes in this next one, you're more than welcome, because truly, Ara had the, like, I think we can touch on it now. The subject's been done, but the whole gate, and Ara had the best take on how it should have been handled.
What the heck did I say?
I probably should have done this a couple of weeks ago when I was in the APTA's shit books then, and it couldn't get any worse. I'm back to being a good boy now, but
I was hoping it could have been handled this weekend by one of those guys being at the tournament, so I could have taken care of it properly, but. They weren't.
Noah wants to punch.
I mean, a lot of people do.
Even before this, everyone wanted to hit Alex Manchilla. But so we got that. I wanted to, if that's okay with everyone, I just wanted to touch on it for a minute and just it could have been handled a little bit better. That's all.
That's all good.
Okay.
What? Okay. Do you? Do we have anything in the folder, Ben, for stuff? I mean,
it's all in there right now.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Sorry.
Is there a folder?
I got a folder. No, you don't have to.
Oh, okay.
Then I was just gonna talk. Give a congrats to Neville Brody, who was in a charity fight, and I was gonna ask you if there's anyone you wanted to fight.
Me?
No, not Noah. Noah, we're not gonna. Ara. If you
short list.
Yeah, I know exactly who Noah would want to fight. If you say Liam Garvey, that would be fantastic.
Come on, Liam might be my partner this weekend.
I love Liam. I love Liam, but I think it would be good to fight him just for the show of it.
He's a wily little fella.
Yeah, I love Liam. He's a good kid.
Then we were gonna talk Montclair.
Yeah.
Just kind of just go over kind of the whole tournament. I thought it was good.
Yep.
Should we address my aces?
Your shot that you hit in front of Amin?
In front of Amin?
Yes.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that. Yeah.
That's
okay.
Excellent. I pulled up the thing here.
That would be about halfway through. And then I wanted to introduce Deep Thoughts by Dick Squires. Noah, when it's put to music, dude, it's fucking amazing. And I was reading it word for word from the book, and it's priceless.
It's amazing, Noah. It's amazing. You know what? Hang on, I'm going to send it to you.
Ben sent me an audio clip. He sent me like in a minute and 30
No, but did you do it with the girl running in the fields with the
No.
Hang on 1 second. You got to see this. It's great.
You got to send that. We got to put the video in because this part will be on YouTube. So you got to send the video of that.
It's amazing. Oh no, video's too long. I got to email it.
That's why I couldn't send it. Yeah, you're gonna.
I got to email it. Okay. All right, I'll do that.
Send a link or something.
What's your email? No, what's your email?
Well, wait a second. I got to pause recording.
Oh.
I always get better response from the one you gave to him anyway.
Come on, I'm online all the time, man.
Hey,
did you see that email that I forwarded to you, Ben? That somebody sent in?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to use that, but that was.
I don't know. I was actually going to send it to Ara because he's way funnier than I am, and
what
I
is
figured
it's Malcolm Fitch. Who's
Noah, you describe it.
It's I'm not familiar with this because I can't read. I'm functionally
Okay,
illiterate, but it
so-
says the Devil's Paddle Directory. It's inspired by the Devil's Dictionary by Ambrose Bierce. And it's basically a definition of a lot of terms, paddle related, and just kind of funny stuff.
Like,
What they mean.
I'm reading tournament, and it says an opportunity to pay $200 for a $25 t-shirt and confirmation of how untalented one is. See clinic.
Where did you find this? What is this?
The guy,
It's
somebody
amazing.
just emailed. He said they're a big fan of the show and just emailed it over. Alley, a place to hide when one's partner is volleying.
Poaching, when one is serving, the surprising and erratic movement of one's partner at net.
Oh, wait, maybe the best one. Goggles, protective eyewear to be worn for 2 months after getting hit in the face.
Anna hit me in the face today.
Oh,
Nice.
did she?
Well, off a bounce, which doesn't count.
All right. But yeah,
I'll go into that.
Well,
I'll go into that later also.
that's one of our topics, taking
Yeah.
on women. And then foot fault, a foul to be called in desperation when one is losing.
Yeah, that's about right.
So we're going to talk pro flight commentary, taking on women.
Oh boy.
No, because these guys always play like Lauren and
Oh yeah.
And
Lauren
Carrie
and Carrie and Anna and Floor today.
and I've played against Lynn and Elisabetta. Yeah, we actually thought it would be funny if we had this whole thing of like the Paddleboys versus like the women's teams, and
all right.
just
So there's a guy on YouTube. He's a golf guy. His name, I've just forgotten his name, but he's an English guy and he's like a club pro. So he's like a scratch golfer, but he plays professional golfers. And he's like, could I beat Nick Faldo with a 10 shot advantage? And they play each other. And he's really likable. And he's Rick Shields. I think it's Rick Shields. He's really good, but you should do something like that.
yeah. Actually, what else? Well, there's one other thing. Nah, forget it. It's probably never going to go anywhere.
So we got Fusion sponsorship, and then Noah had some questions about like traveling out of town. Would you?
We did those last time. We mentioned it was the Graham. You want to bring
I think
those
those
back
are
up?
good. I like that. I think
All
it should
right.
be your
right.
go-to.
All right. Well, good. I'll give some shots to the Hinsdale Xenon boys then, because those are real things from traveling with them. So
Yeah. And then Noah, did you want to touch on question time or no?
did I want to? Well,
My
go-
quick fire questions. I can touch
Yeah.
on.
Well, so we have a list of I don't know 25, 30 questions that are just kind of somewhat non-paddle related questions. A lot of them like favorite band, TV show, movie.
Yeah,
Who would you
best,
FYM if you could? That kind of stuff.
yeah, best hut in the
Okay.
country. Dude, Ara's listened to the show multiple times. He knows what
Sure.
questions we ask. Yeah.
Sure. All right.
Football Friday. We want to talk about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
course
let's
we
talk about it. How
Yeah.
it.
How
I
it
don't
came
think he-
about and the whole. Yeah.
I won't name O'Donnell, but I will talk about what happened.
That's
That's
good
up to you.
since it's on the video now, in case anybody's watching.
Yeah.
Can we beep that part out now?
Oh, sure. Go with that.
Alright, well done.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. We ready to go?
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. We're already recording. So,
Intro, Noah, go.
oh, me?
No, we'll do the intro once we get Ara out of here. It's late on a
Okay.
Sunday night. We won't keep you long, my friend.
Doesn't
We
matter.
knock this out.
I got nothing to do.
There you go. You heard it here
Exactly.
first.
How
Ours
we do
got
it.
absolutely nothing to do on a Sunday night. That's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Ara's drinking bourbon.
Nice.
Bullet.
Yellowstone hasn't started, so I
Okay.
haven't started drinking my bourbon. It doesn't feel
Oh.
right yet.
Such a
Diet
good
Coke.
show.
Oh,
Diet
yeah.
Coke.
I just read today actually that there's a good chance that Kevin Costner's going to be done in it. His wife's pissed he's gone for so long, and he's got like 3 teenage kids with her. And
That seems to be a recurring theme, isn't it? Tom Brady, him, who else? Somebody else did that, I think, recently.
Hey, didn't you get in trouble, Ben, for going to Montclair Open when there was some event at your house or something?
it may have been a 40th birthday at my house. Yes.
Yeah, I listened to all your episodes.
Yes, it may have been a 40th
Wow,
birthday.
you know,
at my
that's
house.
impressive. I was on that episode. I don't even remember that topic of conversation.
I,
So
I listened to them like 20 times over, and
wow.
I have a
I
sickness.
I can't tell you how expensive that weekend to Montclair was. Yeah. It should, yeah. Could have just won a match, would have made it way better. All right, Noah.
Why don't you lead us out?
All right. Well, welcome to the show. We have Ara from the Paddleboys. I'm not even going to try and pronounce your last name, Ara. How do we say it?
Kardashian.
Is it really? No.
It's close though. It's close. It's Kentargian.
Okay, good. Noah, I'm a few beers in. I'm fairly gullible at this point.
The missing Kardashian sister.
That's right. You know, it's funny because growing up, I felt like we knew like I'm Armenian. I felt like we knew every Armenian like in the country. And like I was like, how did we let the Kardashians slip through our fingers? Like there's one family I didn't know. Yeah, but oh well. Yeah.
You got him next time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Ara, outside of floor, I think you guys are the biggest social media people in the game of paddle. And before we get into that, would you introduce yourself?
Sure.
Tell us
Leon
who you are.
Yeah, Leon is not here today, but so I'm Ara. Leon is my partner, and we are the Paddleboys. We were formerly the Master Boys, but we are now the Paddleboys.
So can we talk about why we're not the Masters Boys anymore? We're just a little more inclusive these days.
Yeah, well, why don't I could start from the beginning, right? So we're at Montclair, and Mick's like, "Hey, do you know who those guys are over there?" I'm like, "Who?" He's like, "Those are the Xenon Boys." I was like, "Oh, those Xenon from Instagram?" He's like, "Yeah, those are the Xenon Boys from Instagram." And I don't know what happened. I don't know why a switch clicked, but when Leon and I got in the car, I just looked over at him. I said, "Tomorrow morning, we start the Master Boys, and we are going to attack the Xenon Boys with everything we have." And that's just how it started. It was like just for fun because we use Master paddles and they use Xenon paddles, and we thought it could be a little fun to have some rivalry. And then all of a sudden we started, and these guys are like, "What is happening right now? Like, who are these Master Boys, and why are they attacking us? Like, what's going on?" And we just kept going and going, and then eventually, it just blossomed from there. And we kept going. We were Master Boys for a while. We kind of felt it was a little limiting, right? Like we wanted to, we were getting we were having a lot of fun kind of promoting Master, but we were like, we should really be promoting all brands, right? Like this is helping paddle a lot. It's getting people engaged. Like why limit ourselves to one brand? So we decided let's go more generic. And now we're everywhere.
So does that mean you're not using Masters anymore?
I am no longer using a Master paddle. I am now using a School Silver.
School Silver.
Yes, School. Yes. Leon actually just switched to a Wilson paddle.
Wait, they still make Wilson paddles?
They actually do.
I said that to someone the other day. I go, did you find that Wilson paddle the same aisle as Tab Clear?
Clear. Jeez, I'm dating yourself, Ben.
Tab was good stuff. I love that. Except the saccharin gave me a headache, though.
So was Wilson back in the day. Come on, Leon.
Yeah.
I love that Skoll just calls the paddles by their color.
Yeah. And the orange one looks pretty cool. I want to try that one, but I don't know. I started using it's my son's paddle, to be honest with you. So I didn't have my paddle one day and I just grabbed it, and he's still not happy with me, but I just grabbed to use it and I started liking it. I was like, this paddle seems good for me, and that's it.
Nice. Well, I got to tell you, we've been doing this. Noah, how long have we been doing this? 2.5 years?
Yeah.
You're on your fourth season.
Fourth season, even though we started 2.5 years ago.
2.5 years.
How that works.
No. I've explained it enough. I'm done with that. I'll explain it again at the start of season 5. In our third year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, we were on social media, and obviously, with Noah, with Xenon, and the Xenon Boys came out. We got talking to them right away, and then you guys came in like a fucking sledgehammer. And I had to reach out to Liam. I go, who the fuck are these guys? Like you guys came in hot.
We did. Certainly
Like
did.
just firing out of the gate. And yeah, I didn't know who you were. And you know, over time it was I was like, these guys are funny. You know, they seem to have a lot of time on their hands.
I have a lot of conference calls during the day, and not all of them are exciting. And you know, I sit around and I find some memes, and I pass the day.
No, let's get back to that though. How much time? Well, first of all, who does most of the social media stuff? Is it you or Leon?
No, it's me.
So
it's me.
and how much time does that take? Because it is quite impressive the graphics you do and all the other. I couldn't even imagine how to make that happen on Instagram.
Honestly, each one probably takes just a couple of minutes. Like I'm literally like scrolling through and I see something, an idea just pops in my head, and I just put it down, and then I look at it, I'm like, why would I post it? My wife looks at me like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. It is what it is. You know?
And what do you use some fancy program to put all the crazy graphics and everything else in there? That's on Instagram?
I just use Instagram. Yeah.
Well, I'll have to figure out how to use that one day.
Yeah, I got no idea how to do
that.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I figured you had full-time graphic artists on board with that stuff.
Oh no. Actually, I was at a tournament once, and this guy comes up to me. He's like, you know, I don't know what you guys are doing. You should have people sitting all around taking photos. Where are your cameramen? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, this is not my job. Like, this is like what I do while I'm just hanging out at home. Yeah, like I'm not doing this for money or anything. We're just having fun. And he's like, this isn't your job? I'm like, no, this is just a fun hobby we have.
Do you want to share what you do when you're not the paddle boy, or do you not want to get in trouble?
Yeah, I work at TikTok actually. Yeah.
I can't even, I don't even have a follow-up question. I don't really know what TikTok is. I don't understand it.
He makes videos for teenage girls, basically.
Well, you know, something like that.
I don't know. I've never been on TikTok. I don't know. So yeah, I had something interesting about the yeah.
No, I was gonna say, with, you know, at first we're like, who the fuck are these guys? And then they were awesome. So about 2 years ago, I want to say it was about 2 years ago, Blake, there's a guy called Blake Anderson. I don't know if you
I've
know
heard
who
of
Blake
him.
is. He disappears. We haven't seen him in years now at this point.
Yeah.
But there's a guy who's part of the show called Blake Anderson. He goes, you know, we should do a thing called Foot Fault Friday, just to engage people. And it took off. I was like, because everyone, you know, foot faults. Amin tried to catch me foot faulting the other day. He got a video from Sven at Sven's club and was like, I think that's a foot fault. And I was like, Sven, what do you think? Watch the video. Not a foot fault. But I'm close. I was very close.
You should submit it. Let's have a poll.
You know what? If it's not a video, it looks like I'm foot faulting. But we can send it. I will happily send it, because I do think, like, we throw a lot of stones, right? So if I can give the abuse, I should be able to take it. So I will send you the video, and you can put a poll out there. I would think the overwhelming response will be foot fault.
We'll see.
But I don't give a fuck. Sven Burish said I wasn't foot faulting, so there's that. So we had Foot Fault Friday, and it was awesome. And we would post it and everything. And you know, them one evening at my club, we caught someone who was foot faulting by probably, what do we think, Noah? 5-6 feet? It's not even close.
I don't know.
It's not. Noah's pleading the fifth on this one, but and it got a little heated at my club, and I was like, all right, enough with this. I think I did a decent job with it, but I know who can take this to the next level. And I reached out to you. I was like, please. Yeah. And I text you, I go, any chance you'd be interested in doing Foot Fault Friday? And I think you responded with pleasure.
Absolutely.
At this point, it's what? The person's name, their PTI, the club they play out of. It's amazing.
And the radar, and the moving radar thing too. I don't know.
Oh, that's my favorite one. Yes.
Yeah. Anything I can get, anything I can get on these guys, we post. Yeah. It's actually become like the biggest thing that we do. So like, thanks for that. Cause I almost feel like it helped put us on the map more. Like everybody talks about Football Friday now. They love it. We're getting submissions from all over the place. it's awesome, you know.
Yeah. So how many submissions like a week do you get, would you say, for that?
I probably get 10 to
Jeez.
15, maybe 20 sometimes. It depends. Some people get really into it. They just start sending me like 5 or 10 of them. They're like, I want you to attack this guy. You know, they go pretty crazy. But yeah, I try to keep it to, 8 to 10 a week that I post. You know, I don't want to get too crazy.
I mean, can we say that if you're getting that many submissions and that's just people that have the extra time to do that, it's obviously a problem out there, right? So
yeah.
it should be addressed. And it's like, obviously it's being done in a fairly lighthearted way, but people should stop doing that if it's happening that often, right?
Absolutely. I'll tell you one thing, like I go to a lot of different, matches and stuff. And every time somebody sees me, you always see them like, uh-oh, here he comes. And like, then they start looking at their own feet. Like they don't want to get caught. They know I'm there with my camera, right? Humphreys does that all the time. Every time he sees me, he's just like, he literally stands like 4 feet behind the line.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
Like, you're never going to catch me.
Somebody catch Chris Humphreys. That would be amazing.
We got him once.
Yeah, you got him.
Oh, did you get him?
Oh, yeah. We got him.
Yeah.
We got him.
That's
So it was a
awesome.
submission. It was a submission from someone else, which we never reveal our sources. So
please don't never. No, I do have a foot fault that I told you that I can never send you. It's someone very close to this show, Noah. And like I told him, I go, dude, look at this. And I said, he goes, oh my God, I had no idea. Which is the one of the two responses, right?
Yeah.
When you tell someone their foot fault and someone goes, oh my God, I had no idea. And they try and fix it. Or you get the other person's like, fuck you, I know I'm foot fault. Right. And they've been told by about 1,000 people that they are foot faulting and they cheat.
Yep. They know.
So yeah, I have this terrible submission that I can never send to you. But
the sad thing is I do it, and I try to stand like at least a foot and a half behind. I don't have a tennis background, so like I don't have any like proper form or anything like that. So like I just go out there and do what I can, but I try to stay way back so that I don't foot faults.
Here's the key, Ara. If you don't move your feet at all, like at any point during the match, you really don't have to worry about foot fault. I perfected that.
That's a good point.
Noah played a set and a half in his final at Montclair. Well, first off, congratulations to Noah.
Thank you
for winning Noah was the Montclair Open champion.
Kids division.
No,
it was amazing.
We forget Roxy, Gabby, Sven, Nick. That's Noah won Montclair. So congratulations, Noah. Noah was about an hour and a half into his final and didn't realize he didn't have the correct shoes on. That's how little Noah moves on the paddle court.
Well, I did trash my shoes, but no, I played, 2 matches in the morning. I took my shoes off, I put them in the car to dry out, and they're like, okay, you're on now. I'm like, okay, so I'll go and play, and look down after a set and a half, and my running shoes were trashed because I forgot to change back. But I actually mentioned the kids division, but I don't know if you guys saw, but there were I think it was an exhibition of some kids playing there.
Yeah.
And those kids were amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And I apologize, I forget their names. I think they're at Fellsbrook, maybe. I want to say they're from Fellsbrook, I think, but those kids were unbelievable. Really, really good. So
the famous one it wasn't Vince, right? It was some other kids. There's some
Vince is
a
really
little bit
too.
older.
Yeah.
God, I wish I could remember the names. We'll have to get the names, and we'll give them a good plug next time on the show. But yeah, it's amazing when you see kids that are that young and that good. Actually, I'll do some more name dropping of people's names who I don't know. But there is a guy who I think from Pittsburgh who played today with John Kilmer, who's an assistant over at Scott Kaler's old club, Fox Chapel. And people were saying that he was 17 years old, and they said this kid's not kid, I guess he's a young man, was amazing. Let me get his name, so we'll give him a little shout out. It was Friday, Cooper Friday out of Pittsburgh.
That's
so
cool
17 years old, and they were saying that he was absolutely amazing. So great to see new young guys coming up that are guys or gals that are that good.
I played go ahead, Ar.
No, I was gonna say, talking about kids, I'm at the Montclair Open, and this dad comes up to me and he's like, you're those guys on Instagram, right? And I'm like, yeah, we are. I'm thinking he's gonna be like, oh, I love your stuff. And he's like, you put my 15-year-old on Football Friday. And I'm like, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. And his kid was standing there. I looked at him like, you're the foot faulter. You're the foot fault kid. So
Right.
yeah, but we didn't put his
Cut
name.
that cheating out early.
We
Yeah.
didn't do any of that, right? But it was funny. He looked at me. He's like, yeah. He's like, that was really great. I'm like, well, no one is safe. That's our tagline, right?
There you go.
I think it's great. And Noah, you just mentioned Scott Kaler. I got to give a shout out to Scott Kaler because I posted a picture of Scott Kaler on our Inside the Wires paddle the other day. He was hitting a forehand as his arms are crossed like this. And I put on the DMX, X gonna give it to you. And but covered his face. I shit you not, within 20 seconds, he texts me and he's like, that's me. And I go, hey, dude. And I go, hey, dude, please let me know. I understand you use Masters and please, I'll take it down in a second. He goes, no, man, it's so funny. I keep it. And so shout out to Scott Kaler, who is just a good dude and reached out to us right away. And he's like, no, man, I loved it. I thought it was funny.
That's awesome.
So all right, so that's the
I just sent a text, so we'll see if as we're doing this live, we get the names back of those kids that I mentioned that were so good. So we'll see what we get.
All right, so that's our Paddleboys, and you guys are, I love it, and we're Ara, you and I talk regularly, and there's that you've got some great stuff coming up, but I reached out to Ara a little while back when there was a slight controversy going on in the paddle world. This is where Noah leaves. Yeah. And you know what? As funny as the Paddleboys are and all of that stuff, you wrote back to me and you're like, this could have been handled in 5 minutes. And this is what should have been said. And, I would like to say there was a little time there that I was on thin ice, I think you could say, with Amin Kaduri and Tiernan, and I had multiple beers with those guys at Montclair, and I like to think we're in a much better space now. I know they listen to the show. They are awesome, and it's a volunteer organization.
Exactly.
Right? Yep. For the most part. Amin is, I believe, the only full-time. Oh, really? Okay.
Paid, yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, Amin, and then for the most part, it's a volunteer organization. But my only gripe with Holgate, I don't know if anyone else has termed it that, but nothing was really said. And I would like to just go on air real quick. Noah's sitting back in his chair, not going to say a word, right, as this goes on. I've known Noah for a long time at this point. I know him, outside of like Terry Babb and some other guys. I know him as pretty much as well as anyone. Noah got into paddle for the love of the sport, not to make a business out of it, not to have multiple national champions and his paddles everywhere. Noah got into paddle. He's very successful in his other endeavors in life. He got into paddle. He loves paddle. He didn't get into for all this other bullshit. Not bullshit. It's actually really cool. All the stuff you've done. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call it bullshit. With all the other stuff that's come, national champions, all 4 men's finalists at Montclair, you name it. Whenever there's a big time tournament, there's Xenon's involved. So, he didn't get into it to cheat and bend the rules or try and check, be sneaky or underhanded or all these other things that have kind of been claimed. And my only gripe with how the whole situation was handled was nothing was said for a few weeks at a time. And I know, and I don't know kind of where I'm going with this, but I just felt like, thanks Noah, thanks for laughing. But it was like, nothing was said. And I felt like it could have been handled better, because when nothing is said, everyone starts gossiping and talking and, we posted some stuff. Well, I posted some things. We won't go into that. There's some other players and people that posted some things. So everything was out there in the air, and when nothing was said, it's all people talking, and then there's all these rumors going around, and it makes it this bigger, worse thing than it was. And I was talking to you one day, Ara, and you're like, this was so simple. It could have been handled like this. And you text me like this one paragraph, and it was perfect. And I just felt like if they'd have done that right off the bat, we could have avoided a lot of the crap that's gone on. And you know, I don't know the behind the scenes with, you know, anger between companies and all of that, but I just felt like when nothing was said, it made the situation worse than it really was. Because I know Noah, and I know Noah wasn't cheating.
Yeah, and I think that I also think that like it's, you know, you hit on it before, right? Like this is APTA is a volunteer organization. These guys got into it also because they love the game, and they've done so much work to try to move this thing forward with public courts and like everything they're doing, right, with PTI and all that stuff. And they had probably never handled anything like this before either, right? Like they were like, oh, what do we do, right? So you have to cut them some slack on that side also.
Yep.
But you know, everybody gets into this game not for the money, not for the glory or the fame, right? It's because we all love the sport, and it's such a small community that it's crazy to me that any of us would be fighting each other other than on the paddle court, right? Because that's a different story. But you know, just every one of us wants to move this thing forward and make the game bigger and stronger and better, right? And look, if some manufacturers made holes a little bit larger, whatever, it's not because like they were like scheming behind the scenes, like, hey, let's make this thing happen. Things happen. Everybody's trying to get, you know, better and better paddles. Everybody's trying to make, you know, give people more and more of an edge. And it is what it is. So I think like, you know, the APTA, you know, they've tried to handle this as best as possible. And I think the answer is, look, we're going to work with the brands. We're going to work with the manufacturers. We're going to work with everybody over the next couple of years, and we're going to get this thing right. And we're going to make the sport better. You know, personally, I don't think there should be any regulation on holes. I think people should make them square holes, diamond shapes. I don't care. Like, I just want more cut, more angle, anything possible. But
innovation.
Anybody was doing that, right? Like, yeah, like I don't think anybody was trying to do that. So, you know, it's unfortunate. I feel like it's behind us, at least from my perspective. Like, I spoke to a couple of board members the other day at Montclair, and they were like, yeah, we think it's over. We think it's behind us.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's true. We can move on.
Yeah. I know you and I spoke, and we wanted to get you on a few weeks ago, and it didn't happen. And we're further down the road, and I feel like the APTA has handled it, and we have moved on. And if anyone wants to go see the results, they independently tested, Noah, 10, 12 paddles from every major.
14. Apparently there's
14.
17 different manufacturers of paddles. They took 2 of each from, they got it from Paddle Pro. Shout out to Paddle Pro. And took one of each of 2 models and had them tested. Yes. And
everyone except one Wilson paddle failed the test. So, you know, I'm going to steal this saying from a very wise man. You can't be a little bit pregnant. All right. If you failed, you failed. So whether it's this size or like a half, Noah is not a mad scientist. He's not sitting in his office going, oh my God, if I make it a half a millimeter, I think Sven Burish is going to be able to cut the ball a little bit more in this direction and like it was God's honest mistakes. And it turns out everyone failed. So hopefully through all this, it would be great if innovation came out of this. And we are a small sport. And I think if everyone, competition, it makes things better.
Yeah.
Right.
Breeds success and innovation.
It does, and it will help grow the game, and more people are coming into it, and all of that. So, I hope we can move on from this. Again, I was very on very thin ice with Amin and Tiernan, and we shared some
I
drinks.
wonder
and
why, Ben. I
Hey,
wonder
No.
why.
don't kid yourself. You still might be after this episode.
I think I'm probably no. I don't think we've
Oh.
said anything bad.
No, I agree.
I think I'm just saying. I think at the time, they've never had this situation happen before,
Yeah.
so it was new to everyone. But for me, when nothing is said, that just spreads rumors.
Sure.
And nothing good comes out of that. And you'd said something to me, and it was just so good, and I wanted your opinion on it. And from this, I hope we can move forwards and make holes 4 inches wide and cut the shit out of the ball. And
if you notice on our new logo, we have gigantic holes on the paddle. That was the homage to this whole gate. We had to do it.
So,
I like
so,
that we're going
so-
whole gate. I like that.
Yeah.
So, I think, and there's other people who would know better than I am, but I think actually the reason for the original size of the holes was going back to when all paddles were made out of wood. And obviously the holes are too big. It would weaken the wood, and ball hits the wood, especially when it's cold out and the wood breaks and goes flying. It's one thing to have grit flying, it hits somebody. Another thing to have a piece of wood flying on somebody hitting an overhead or something and it hurting somebody. So I think that's the origin of why the holes had to be the 3/8 inch size that they're supposed to be. But
Yeah.
Hey, not that I don't want to move on from this topic because it is depressing, but
that stopped me from saying a hot take that I had, and I'm not going to touch on it. I'll tell you guys off air. But I had something that probably would have got me in trouble with Amin and Tiernan. So let's move on.
Great. No, I was going to say, you talked about people volunteering and doing it for the love of the game. Having had the chance to be at Montclair, New Jersey last weekend, and being at Medina in Illinois here this weekend, and talking to both Mick Adoya as well as Allison, who ran the tournament in Montclair, and Anthony McPherson and Eric Pohl, who ran it at Medina, along with Mark Cunnington. I didn't talk to Mark, but I know Mark.
Funny that.
What goes on behind the scenes, like to put on these tournaments, again, talking about volunteering, these guys, they're not doing it because they're making tons of money to put on a tournament. Like the amount of work and stress and aggravation, people canceling at the last minute and, getting sick or COVID or, whatever the case is. It's like, I would say if anybody plays in tournaments, and especially if you have somebody, working the hut or running the tournament or whatever, you say thanks to them. I mean, everybody's out volunteering, and again, you're paying and you're playing in the tournament, having fun, but man, these people are putting a lot of time in that, they're doing it because they want to help and want to grow everything. So it's please make sure you thank them, because they do a lot of work for these things.
Yeah,
For sure.
definitely.
And there's a guy I met, and we'll talk Montclair in a minute, but there was a guy I met who is in Chicago. We have a guy called Alan Graham, who's kind of like the godfather of paddle in Chicago. And he's, him and Bill O'Brien are kind of 2 old school guys who have grown it to the size that paddle is. But I met, is it Rob Schoen? Rob
Scanoni, Rob Scanoni.
The Godfather.
Yeah.
He's a character.
He's awesome.
Yes, what a good dude. So another volunteer though, right? He's not making any money out of this, but just loves the game of paddle. What a good dude. We got to have him on, because he runs that Jersey.
Yeah, the whole Jersey league. Yeah, but it's he not only the classic, he runs the entire New Jersey Platform Tennis Association. It's like it's a pretty big league. It's the biggest one we have out here.
And do you play in that Jersey Classic tournament?
League Classic.
I'm sorry.
I play in the League Classic. I play in the State League also. And we're actually our club is actually in the A League this year in state. So it is it's some crazy action.
So for our Chicago people, what is the A League? Is that like our Series 1?
It would be like Series 1. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's different out there, right? Like our Series 1, 2, and 3 kind of have all the pros and the best players. Out there, like if you could be Mick Adoya, right? And but if your club is bad, then you've got to play on a shitty league, right?
So actually, our B League, our Series 2, basically, their one spot is insane. It's like Broderick's in, oh, you name it. Like the who's who mix in there. I think Sven's in there. Like they're all
the B League.
in the B League, right? And we're sitting up here in the A League. Like, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, because it's mainly because they can't play with another pro. They have to play with a member of their club, right? So you have, like Mick, who's like a -17 or whatever he is now, playing with one of the members of his club, and it's just different.
Right.
So so that's fun for him in January. Come out on a Thursday evening and do nothing. Right? Why would you hit it, Toby? Hey, Mick, you get to serve every 4 games, and then every 2 games you get to hit like a couple of returns.
He takes like 95% of the court. There's no escaping Mick.
It's kind of like that when Mike
Cochran and Andy Ward, yeah. Absolutely.
Hey, go stand in the corner and I'll play singles and we'll travel around the country together.
That's about right.
I got to come out for that League Classic with you this year.
That
sounds awesome.
That was
League Classic's amazing. Yeah,
and again, we'll talk Montclair in a minute, but I loved New Jersey when I was out there. I didn't come out with huge expectations. And again, we'll talk Jersey, but I loved it. I thought it was awesome. I came out and all the players in the tournament, you were treated like a pro player.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, you're playing every site that we went out. And it turns out, guys, that if you don't do something, you don't get better at it. So I hadn't played kind of since February. And when you go into a draw that's as stacked as the one I was in, you kind of get punched in the face at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning. And turns out I should practice more. But so as we lost, it didn't matter what site you went to. There were people watching. They were super excited that you were there. I love New Jersey Paddle. You guys treat the players so well, and it's awesome. I was a fan.
It's actually one of the reasons why we started Paddleboys. Also, we wanted to attack a lot of the pros. We felt that they were put on too high of a pedestal. We're like, all right, guys, like enough. So then we started like just bashing them and like just trying to make fun of them a little bit and ground them a little bit as well. So
I have seen some of the live streams, and it's like there's some I won't use the term, but it's from not suitable movies that there's some wives that seem to be there without husbands, and it seems to be a very supportive crowd.
Well, so at Montclair Open, I was standing next to Philippe Rams, and I was like,
God, he's ugly, isn't he?
He is
just ugly and a horrible person.
Hard to look at.
Bad hair too. Bad hair.
Terrible.
So I went up to him and I said, listen, my friend, I just texted my friend's wife and I said, look, I'm standing next to Rams right now. And she's like, take a photo with him. So I'm like, can I take a picture with you and send it over to her? And
he was creeped out, wasn't he?
He was a little creeped out, but he was a good sport. He did it. And she was very appreciative. And her husband was actually with me at the time. So that was interesting as well.
He's the nicest guy.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
And he has to win a national championship soon. That guy is so unbelievable talented. He has to win.
I think he's playing a tournament at Philly with Bostrom. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Ooh,
Well,
that's
there's a dark horse team in the Philly draw now. They just entered today, though.
Noah, Montclair champion is playing
right.
Philly.
That's right.
I didn't see Philippe Rams or Martin Bostrom with Montclair. So we've got.
True. You're right.
Yeah.
It was me and Liam and Sven and Mick and the men's side, and they're not playing in Philly. So it looks like it's ours to lose.
No, I couldn't believe how long your finals match went. Like I watched like the first set, and then I left for like 2 hours. I went to eat this and that, and I came back. I'm like, are these guys still playing? Like, there's no way this match is still going on. And those guys from Baltimore are great. I mean, they were great sports. They drove all the way up, but ultimately you guys won.
Yeah, well, we had tiebreaker, and then maybe 6-2 or something. I don't remember how the last one went, but
the last one
longer than I like to play for sure.
Hey, and can we give a shout out, Noah, quick, with the juniors that you came up with their names?
Yeah, absolutely. So the two kids that listen, there were probably a lot of good kids, but the ones that I saw that I was really, really impressed with are Luke Cusack and Rafa Power. I hope I'm saying that right. Pawar. They're both Fellsbrook, and those kids are absolutely amazing and going to be really good at adult players. I mean, they're I don't know. I don't know if they have PTIs for kids yet, but I would guess that those kids are probably like around 20 or something like that already. And they
Wow.
were really good and really seemed to enjoy it and just have fun. We're super polite. So shout out to them.
There was one kid I was trying to work as his agent because he had a Xenon paddle and you were there and he was awesome. I go, hey, owner of Xenon right here. We need to work you into some sponsorship, buddy.
Oh, there you go.
We got to
Was
get
that,
you early.
Was that Vince Broderick?
No, it wasn't
Oh.
Vince.
All
Yeah.
right.
Is
Another-
Vince using Xenon now too?
Vince is, yeah. He's using
Okay.
the purple vortex light. Absolutely.
One
But,
smart member
yeah,
of
it's
the
so great
Broderick
to see.
family there.
So great to see, so great to see kids like that are playing and enjoying it. And I think that's amazing. Good stuff.
All right, well, let's can we talk Montclair?
Sure,
We've
it's your
talked
show.
a
Go
little
ahead.
bit about it. Yeah, right. No, I did bitch and moan a few weeks back about the astronomical price that the tournament came in at, but food trucks and I got rid of my wristband. It was bugging me while I was playing, so I got rid of it, but snuck in and drank a bunch of beer and
Had
it
live
was-
streaming broadcast on the side of the
Live-
truck for the.
I love that. I love that
Yeah.
because even when you were all the way out by the food trucks, you could still hear like you
Yes.
could just hear the announcers, and you kind of still felt like you were connected to the tournament. It was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a shout out to My Paddle. Well done with the live streaming. That was a step up from last year right off the bat. I think there were a few glitches the first time doing it. From what I've heard, there may be a couple of things they needed to change, but I thought they were great.
It's awesome.
Absolutely.
And I thought Mark was going to be there, but I think he had some appendicitis or
Appendicitis.
something. Appendicitis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, he couldn't attend. I'm sure he would have loved to be there.
Got one less appendix, I think now.
Yeah.
I don't know how many you start with. Probably just one, but he doesn't,
Three or-
he doesn't
three or
have that
four.
anymore.
Three
Yeah.
or four. That's it.
Yeah.
You only have to go through it a few times.
Isn't that the thing that's useless anyways? The appendix?
It is.
There you go. So
Yeah, see, Dr. Ara. Yeah.
that's right.
But every part of the tournament was great. I think, we went out to lunch with Mick on the Friday before, and Mick runs hot to start with. Just a little bit, right? Just a
Uh-huh.
little bit. That's why I love the combination of him and Sven. Sven's like, okay, buddy, you can hear him on the court. I got it. Slow down. Here we go. Like, he's the calm one. And I love that. Yeah, Mick runs a little hot at times. And he was firing on Friday and a little bit stressed, but because Noah, full team, 16 sites. There was something like that.
14 sites. Yeah. 14 sites. I think 7 draws at Montclair.
7 draws. Which,
Yeah, that was big.
Is that as big as any tournament in the?
No, I think Short Hills is probably comparable, maybe a
Yeah.
couple more, but Short Hills is a big one too, for sure.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
top 2 or 3 tournaments
yeah,
of the
for
year.
sure.
So he
That's a lot.
was a little stressed, but credit to Mick. It was fantastic tournament. Great lunch, which is always a big one for me. I didn't get to try any of the steam rooms or showers, which was very disappointing because they kept the tournament running. I didn't have much downtime. I think Noah really liked the favor because it ran about 4 sizes too big.
I was wearing a medium. I think that's appropriate.
Noah's in a medium, which he hasn't been
They
in
seem
since
to be
4th
sized
grade.
properly. I don't know what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
It's good.
I put the size on I ordered and the arms are out here and I'm like, okay, the kids can wear it when they're cold on the couch. But again, credit to Mick. I don't think the tournament ran super smooth. There wasn't really any downtime between matches. I think parking was super easy for anyone that wanted to come watch. The live stream was fantastic. He had a ton of people out there. Jesus, I hadn't really played a match since February, and I looked at the draw when it came out. I go, holy shit!
Everyone was there.
Everyone was there outside of like Hughes and Powers.
Hughes and Powers. I know. I asked them afterwards, like, where were you? They're like, we kind of started a little bit later on in the season, this and that. But
They're still
they
golfing.
were the main notable one not there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, Mick will give credit to Allison, who's a member of his club, I think, and her team did an awesome job with that. But that's the kind of thing again where so many club members help make those tournaments possible. I think with all their involvement, right?
Well, Tyler and I stayed with a host family, and they were fantastic. And I think a number of players who came in from out of the way stayed with host families. Outside of the nationals, I think it had to be one of the best run tournaments and best tournaments I'd ever played in.
Yeah, no, it was good.
And we haven't given a shout out to anyone. Congrats to all the players that won. Roxy and Gabby coming in hot in the final.
Yeah.
There was I really enjoyed the semi with your girls.
Macy
Lauren,
and Marcella.
Lauren and Carrie.
I was going.
Lauren
and
Carrie too. Yeah.
It was against Marcella and Macy. It was awesome.
It
was
a
solid match. Yep.
And
that was a good match.
You got to talk about Marcella and Macy knocking off the team that was undefeated all season last year, right? And then Floor. I mean,
we made Anna and Floor feel much better today when they beat us badly. So
I'm sure that probably helps.
So but I think that's good for Floor and Anna. They got kind of that weight off their back.
Yeah.
You go undefeated, and that's always I've never had an undefeated season, so I would never know this. But
I've gone undefeated for a week before.
I went Tuesday to Thursday undefeated.
Right.
It was an amazing couple of days.
That's right.
Yeah, walked around like the big man. But I think it's probably good for them to lose fairly early on in the season and probably relax and work on some things and make some changes.
And it says a lot about them also that they lost, and then they still the next day went and played the backdraw match. Some people don't do things like that. The fact that they went, I felt like 100% they were going to do it, because they were, if you know them, like especially like Floor, like just probably thinking immediately after that match, like what are the things we have to change? Let's watch the video, let's watch a tape, and then let's go execute it as soon as possible. So I thought it was really cool that they stuck around, they played the backdraw. Good stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Big shout out to Tyler Owens and myself, who are actually the current mixed national champions. We beat Floor and Martin on the Friday in a pickup match. So
amazing.
We've got the gold medals and everything. And Tyler was the woman, obviously.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing
wrong with that. But
2022, we're good.
We are the current national champions. So, but no. So no, it was a great tournament. And then what was the final? It wasn't super close, right?
For men?
Ladies. Men's wasn't that close either. What was the ladies' final? It was like 1 or 2 in the second set, maybe 2 or 3 in the first. Noah's checking his computer.
Let me see. I'm a wealth of useless knowledge here. That's why you have to have 3 screens open at all times. The women's tour final was 6-2, 6-1 for Roxy and Gabby.
Yeah.
And the men's tour final was
2-4, I think, right?
4-2. Yeah.
4-2. Yeah.
Quite a memory.
Now, I don't think this has ever really been said. Johan off a little bit, right? In the final? Didn't look like the normal Johan. There was a few, and I'm holding the bar super high, because if anyone else had played that well, you'd be like, holy shit, they're good.
I've heard, I won't say where I heard it from, but I've heard if you play Johan, you want to play him in warmer weather.
I know where that came from.
I'm not going to say where it came from, but I've heard that.
Mm-hmm. I have heard that too. I still feel like I would take one hell of a beating if I played him in even 120-degree weather.
In fairness, nationals are the same time every year, and the temperature is probably, fairly comparable at that time of the year. And he seems to do pretty well, with a few championships under his belt.
I think he's going to be just fine. And
yeah.
I know Noah's seen it. Ara, did you see the video of Johan going with the backhand FYM at Graham McNearney running off the court?
Yes.
My favorite part of that is we saw Stephen Mitchell in the lobby of the hotel on the morning of the final, and Stephen was like imitating Graham running off the court. And Stephen is incredibly funny, super nice guy, but incredibly funny. And I don't think he gets the credit for being that, but him pretending to be Graham running off the court as Johan just cracks the bag is one of my favorite parts of the weekend. Because he must have showed us it about 4 times.
In fairness, I can't blame him for running off the court when that's coming.
No, why would you stand there?
Yeah, no, I would have probably climbed the fence actually.
So let's put a bow on Montclair. It's an awesome tournament. I think I would love to see more. Like, for some reason, I was like I think Paul Rose Paul Rose did come out to the tournament too. He played with our friend Scott Kaler. But I was like the default Chicago guy because you guys is it Indian Trail?
Indian Trail,
like
yeah. Indian Trail.
Have just hired a Chicago pro, and everyone
Right.
come up. I must have answered the same question like 60 times. They're like, "Who's this Chicago guy that we have
Everyone
coming?"
wants to
Like,
know.
yeah, I'm like, "Oh, it's Greg O'Neill. He's a great guy. You'll love him." They're like, "Oh, is he ready to grind? It's a big job." Like, sure, I'm sure he'll be just fine. But I would love to see more of the Chicago, Louisville, Indianapolis guys go out there next year. Because that was a fantastic tournament.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say about tournaments, the reason I didn't play in the Montclair Open was because I think that every single one of these tournaments has to do a better job of defining like who can play. Like some of them have it by age, some of them have it by PTI, some of them have it by NRT points. So like when I looked at the Montclair Open, there was like the main draw, then there was 25 and over and 40 and over. So I'm like, well, I can't get into 25 and 40. And I'm not going to pay $320 to go get hit by Johan. So I guess I'm out. I didn't realize that there was the Open.
You get used to it.
Yeah. I didn't realize. So I ask that, these people who are doing, running these tournaments, just do a little bit more detail on it, because a lot of people have never played a tournament before and they look at it and they may not be playing because they think they're not eligible or something like that. So that's one advice I'd like to give.
I got one more thing. Actually, I had 2, but I forgot one of them. That's how ADD works. But Noah in the final hits. Noah, do you want to describe it?
No.
I was No, are we not going to talk about it?
You can talk about it.
So
Mark Parsons told me I can't hit cut shots or something. I can't hit spins. So
I'm standing there with Amin Kaduri, and Noah hits a Albuquerque. Is that what it was?
That's what I do.
I gave Noah a different term from an Albuquerque later that night, which we cannot talk about on the show. I'll tell you off air. All right, but Noah hit an Albuquerque.
It was more of a Tempe, Arizona. It wasn't full on Albuquerque. It didn't move that quite that
and
much.
It spun and he won the point. And I don't know how long he'd been waiting to do it, but he spins immediately, looks at Amin, points at his paddle and goes, "It's the holes."
Wow. Wow.
He just shook his head. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Wow. See, you're a good sport, Noah.
Sure, that's what I am.
But let's put a bow on Montclair. Awesome tournament. More guys should go out to it. But then more guys should come the other direction for tournaments like Louisville. Awesome tournament. I would love to see more guys come out for Louisville. Everyone kind of comes out for charities, but Medina just put on a great tournament this weekend, which was loaded with Midwest guys. But I would like to see more back and forth with the players. But
I want mud hole. I want the mud hole.
The mud hole is always good. It's always
That's
good.
what I want.
First Saturday in July after the 4th.
It is the best. So
Always
Montclair,
good.
awesome tournament. So right now, I would like to turn it over to Ara and talk about a new segment that we're going to be putting in kind of midway through our episodes. And, it's Ara sent it to me the other day and it's hilarious. And well, do you want to talk about it, my friend?
I don't know. I almost, it's almost so good that you have to hear it. But I will say we found a treasure trove of content. It's a book written in the 70s. So, you have to look at it from that lens, but there's a great section on how to play mixed doubles from the viewpoint of a guy in the 70s. And it's amazing. I mean, we literally like sit around at my club and just reading like quotes to the women and just watch them go crazy. And now, Deep Thoughts by Dick Squires, author of How to Play Platform Tennis, orated by the real Paddleboys. A very effective shot for a man to hit, especially early in the match, is a hard return of service right at the opposing female at the net. Even if the girl ducks and your ball goes soaring out of the court, you have accomplished a great deal. This is tantamount to a pitcher dusting back a batter. She will very quickly realize you are playing to win, that beneath the gallant veneer, there lies a burning desire to be victorious at all costs, and the edginess you have instilled in her will remain. Needless to say, it'll be worth many points during the course of the match. Obviously, this should not be hit with the intent to physically harm the female. On the other hand, it is well to remember that there is absolutely no one more docile or manageable than a woman who has been caught off balance, back on her heels and on the defensive. Take the offensive and show her who is boss. It's special. It's special.
Is that book? Is that the one that's like kind of the coffee table book that a lot of the huts have?
No, I don't think so.
Like
I think
the history of paddle or something. like that?
No. That's
You know what
it's
I'm
this
talking
one
about?
right here.
Oh, that's a
It-
different one. Yeah.
There you
That's
go.
a different
How
one.
to Play Platform Tennis by Dick Squires.
God, it
It's
was so much
amazing. I
better
won't
with
tell
his
you who
hands.
tipped me off on this. They begged me. They said you cannot tell where this came from, but you need to look at this section.
Looks
But
like it
the
came
front-
from a public library, given the barcode on the front of it.
It is actually from the Riverside Public Library.
Which Ara's now had for 3 years and owns
I don't even know
$455.
where
Yeah.
that is. But it says withdrawn. I don't know what that means, but
Oh,
I don't know.
means it wasn't politically correct because
We-
of the.
Will
we
you
didn't talk
put
about
the
women.
Will you put the cover up again? Because those pants, for those who are just listening, is black and white striped pants, maybe a corduroy or a cord or a khaki. They're definitely not dry fit sweatpants.
Now look
A
at the
wooden-
holes in that paddle.
A wooden paddle with, probably illegal holes, and a wool sweater by
Yeah.
Dick Squires.
Dick Squires. Dick
Is Dick
Squires.
still alive? Do we know if Dick's still alive?
I do not know. I
We
hope
need to
not.
find
I
that
hope
and
not.
have him.
Well, if he is, I hope he's listening.
I hope
I would
not.
love if Dick Squires is still alive. I would love to have him on the show.
Oh,
So,
that'd be great.
without further ado,
I would as well.
deep thoughts by Dick Squires. All right, dude, that is so funny. Where it's like, take aim at the woman at the net. Like it's
There's so much more, Ben. There's so much more.
Oh.
Every paragraph is gold. I love it.
and we're gonna send you the paddle. What is it, Noah? The paddle terminology. Maybe you guys can do
Oh,
something
the
with that,
Devil's
'cause
Paddle
it's-
Dictionary.
Yeah, send it over.
We'll
Inspired
send
by the
that.
Devil's Dictionary by Ambrose Bierce. And got to give a shout out to Malcolm Fitch, who sent this into the show. So if you have any additional user content, send it to info@insidethewires.com. And we'll be
Yeah,
glad to
yeah.
give you a plug and create more content so we don't have to think as much when we talk.
Yep. And hey, while we're here, I think I just had a brain fart. Neville Brody. Did we talk about Neville? We haven't
No,
yet,
not
right?
yet.
Neville Brody, paddle
Boxer
player.
extraordinaire.
What did you say?
Boxer extraordinaire.
Boxer. I thought you said bachelor.
Maybe,
I'm
I'm
sure
not
he's
sure.
that too. But paddle player out of the DC area. Big balls. Stepped in and did a charity boxing match in DC for, I believe it was for cancer. And won. Kicked some ass. He looked good. I've seen like
You saw
the
the video?
the training montage videos
Nice.
and all of I all that stuff, and he won. And I don't care if you got headgear on. You step into a ring with another person and duke it out, and fair play to him. So I just
Good
wanted to give,
stuff.
while we're here, a quick shout out to our friend Neville Brody and his big win.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to ask Noah this question. Anyone you want to punch in the face in the paddle world, Ara? Come on, while we're here.
Probably my partner Leon.
Oh, see, I was gonna
Wow.
say Tyler. I was gonna say Tyler Owens.
No,
Yeah,
I love
awesome.
Tyler. Tyler's
Tyler's
great.
awesome. He's a sweetheart.
man.
That's my buddy.
Tyler's a man.
It's got to be Leon. It's got to be Leon.
He is a man of few words. I met him at lunch for the first time, and
Yeah,
Is Leon your partner in when you play as well, or just in life? I mean, paddle
very.
boys?
That's a very sore subject that I don't want to talk about live
well, then
on
let's discuss
Inside the
it.
Wires.
Let's
Oh my
discuss
God,
it.
we used to be partners a while ago, and we're very good friends. We're best friends,
He took too many overheads.
It was we had to go our separate ways for the benefit of the game and for each other.
Wow.
fair enough. That's all good. Hey, I got one more thing. I remembered it from what I wanted to touch on when Montclair. I had 3 people that I wanted to meet in Montclair, New Jersey, and it was you. And we'd never met. We'd never
Right.
met until about a week ago, and I saw you at lunch. I'm like, dude,
That's right.
it was awesome. I'm not social media has all all the bad crap and all that stuff that goes on Twitter, but we've become friends out of this,
Yeah.
and we've got you on the show, and you're someone I enjoy reaching out to and talking to. So I got to meet you, Felix Yamasato.
He's a good dude.
Awesome dude.
Yeah,
I love
awesome.
Felix. He was,
Yep.
and he didn't disappoint. I met him and we were unpacking Tyler's truck, and we're walking to lunch, and he's got the dog leash around his neck, and he had the dog with him. And but what a good dude.
Yeah.
And then a guy we're actually gonna have on the show coming up soon, Anthony Santino. Do you know Anthony?
The comedian, I think, right? He's a comedian as well.
Yeah. Truly one of the nicest people in the game of paddle. He's funny. He actually is funny. He's got like this kind of awkward, I don't know what you'd say his style was. Not dorky, but he's very, very funny. And I saw him at like 8:00 on Saturday morning, and I meant to ask him. And then we actually ended up playing at like some far off location after we'd all both lost. But just a good dude. But I wanted to meet 3 people in Jersey, and you, Felix, and Anthony. So I always enjoy this paddle world.
That's great.
Meeting new people and all the friends of that. So we've talked APTA, we've talked Montclair. There is another organization in the world of paddle, and it's Pro Flight Paddle. You guys are going to be commentators.
I have no idea what we're going to do, but
Come on, it's going to be amazing.
We've never done this before. October 27th, we are going to be commentating the match. The only thing I say is I feel like last time Eliza played against Lauren and Carrie, I think she hit Carrie 7 times. So I went up to Eliza and I asked her, I said, listen, I need you to hit her 10 times. Every time you hit her, we're going to do a shot during the live stream. And Eliza's like, I am out for blood. It was great. It was great. So it should be a lot of fun. We'll see what happens, and we'll do our best. I think Patty Hogan's going to do it with us as well. So at least we'll have some professional person there who can kind of make sure that it doesn't, devolve into complete chaos.
Are you watching Dodgeball for like commentary with Cotton? I can't remember his full name.
That is
Cotton
a great
something.
idea. Great idea. I'm going to watch that this week.
The commentary in Dodgeball is fantastic. So you should get some of your stuff from Dodgeball.
Yeah, we keep telling Drew, we're like, Drew, we don't know what we're doing. Like, he's like, that's why it's going to be so great, because it's just going to be normal people talking about it, the match. And I'm sure we'll say a lot of things that are wrong. We'll probably get him in a little bit of trouble, but it'll be fun.
So with that said, I think you guys are going to do awesome. Patty will do a good job steering you guys in the right direction, and then she'll let you and Leon fight from time to time, which will be even better.
We definitely will.
Is little Patty going to be in the middle of you two, which would be even better?
It's quite possible. It's going to be it'll be interesting. I don't know how it's all going to play out.
Little Patty, Leon's not that tall either, I don't think, is he?
Oh my God. Fine. You know what? I've had a glass of bourbon. So when Leon actually backed out, Leon actually backed out. He said, I'm not going to do it. And then I called
Okay.
Drew. I'm like, Drew, I don't know what's going to happen. So then he's like, we'll get Patty. I'm like, okay, good. Like Patty looks like Leon. So it's perfect. but now Leon's back in. He's going to kill me for this. But now Leon's back in. So it'll be Leon, Patty, and myself doing the live cast.
All right. Well, that's going to be awesome. So I was talking to Damian Johnson, and I think, and I've always said this, and I really hope the APTA finds a way to do it. But when they have their live stream, and the EPL, the English Premier League, does a really good job with this with soccer, you can actually go to different commentary streams. So you can watch the same match and you can have an A commentary, and then like you can have your A commentary, right? You can have Easterbrook and Fischel and Jerry and the real professional good commentary. But then they have this other one where fans can come in for 10, 15 minutes at a time and they commentate, and you can pick and choose, and you can get, like, let's say it's Tottenham versus Arsenal. You can get two different fans arguing with each other as they watch the game. I think it would be fun if the APTA somehow could have a and a B commentary that you could listen to. That's so I'm excited for the PFP with you guys commentating.
I think we're the B. I think we're the B commentary.
Are you guys allowed to have a drink or two while doing it?
I said, Drew, look, we don't want to get you fired. We want to get close, but we don't want to get you fired. So what are the rules? And he said, look, there's no rules, but my club members are going to be listening to this thing. So we're like, all right, we get it. So I think we can drink. I think we can do whatever we want. We just can't get completely obliterated, I guess.
So let's promote it. It's at Canoebrook.
Yeah. October
on the 27th.
Yep.
And it's going to be you, Patty, and Leon.
That's right.
How do we watch, listen? How do we do this?
I think Drew is putting the link up on Pro Flight Paddle on Instagram. I'm sure he's got it on his website. We posted a million times. So yeah, we'll let you guys know, and it'll be out there.
All right. Can we get a shout out? Can we have like a code word that's like a shout out for us? Can we do
that? White rhino. White rhino.
Nice. Nice. You could use the code word of inside the wires. That'd be
inside the wires.
No one will know. No one will know.
That's right.
So we were when we were out to lunch with Mick, we were the white rhino. Noah, have we ever talked on the show where it came from?
No.
No,
I don't think so.
We were we were at lunch.
That's Gara. He remembers more than I do about.
Yeah, no, I just heard it. You didn't tell the story behind it though.
Well, can I continue, Noah, or no?
Please do.
All right. So when I first met Noah a number of years back now, we were talking about something, and we're playing with Terry Babb and Adam Boyce, who's a Chicago pro, great guy. And we were talking about food or something, and Noah drops that he's a vegan, and I'm like, what? And Adam, without missing a beat, he looks at me. He goes, "Yep, it's like a white rhino." He goes, "You knew they existed, looking like this, but you've never actually seen one." So there's where the white rhino came from. We were at lunch last Friday in Montclair with Mick, and he ordered something, and he goes, I'm vegan. And the look that the waiter gave you was like, really? Come on, bro. We're like, yep, he really is. He's a vegan. But shout out to Noah.
You're missing out.
Shout out to Noah. Noah's been on a health kick over the last 6 months and been killing it.
He's an athlete.
You have.
Yeah.
You won the PTI 25s at Montclair. Are you kidding me? It's working.
In like a 3-hour marathon. The guy's an animal.
It was amazing.
So that's where the white rhino came from. It came from Adam Boyce.
Well, part of it too was, I think, the fact that I used to, when I'd run for balls, it was like a physics problem. So I didn't really stop too well. I would just keep going forward. So that might have been part of it as well, kind of the rhino part. But yeah, I went through the fence once at our place. That was interesting. The side fence, I've taken down a couple of nets.
You mean like in the court? Like the screens? You went through the screens?
Yeah, I went through the screen one time. Yeah. I couldn't stop, and I just went right through the screen and ripped the screen out.
Wow.
So it was easier than blowing an ACL or something. So yeah, it's a physics thing. But that was the old days. That was younger Noah.
Younger, crazier Noah.
Yeah.
Carnivore Noah.
That was true then too. Yeah.
He's now a svelte 3-hour grind on a paddle court athlete these days.
Making 250 pounds look good, baby.
Just killing it, looking
Right.
good.
Right.
Well, hey, Noah, do you want to lead the way with the next couple of questions we have for Ara with the women and everything? I'm gonna.
Oh yeah. Well, so there was one question though with the Paddle Boys. We know that Liam Garvey of the Xenon Boys is famous now for his, well, as you listen to the show, Ara, his Sven Burish impersonation. Do you have any impersonations that you'd like to share with us?
Not at this time, but I swear after I heard that one, I was like, I could probably do a better Sven than that. But so I've been practicing.
Good at times.
It was pretty good.
I'm trying, like, I don't know. I'm trying to get a Ben Ashford.
That's
I'm working on it. But the next time, if you guys ever get me on again, I'll try to have my Ben Ashford done.
Listen, the best part of the impersonation was Sven's response of, "That doesn't sound anything like me."
Right.
He doesn't push overhead clinic.
That's right.
But that's another one we've talked about. Some of the best content we get is when we don't record. Liam choked a little bit when he was on air. He did the voice of Sven. When he was off air and he was a little more relaxed, it could have been Sven. If you had your eyes closed or you didn't know who was talking, it sounds just like Sven. Sven doesn't think so, but it does.
It definitely does. It definitely does.
So Ara, you were tearing it up with the women, I hear, today.
Well, sort of, not quite. Yeah, we played again. My friend Chris Qua and I played against E4 Ara, and I mean, it was all right. I mean, we did all right. I think they needed they wanted to feel like, really great. So they played us, and we played at Fox Meadow in Scarsdale. I think it's like the birthplace of paddle or something like that, which was really cool. I'd never been there before, but I mean, they're amazing. We were just trying to find like any holes that we could find, any gaps, like anything we could do. And they really just shut everything down. It's very hard to win any points against them. We had a lot of long points, a lot of great ones. But ultimately, I think they won 6-4, 6-4 or something like that.
Are you in training for playing again?
We might, we play against Lauren and Carrie a lot. We play against Lynn Kiro sometimes, so Elizaveta. So we're trying to get there. Maybe one day we can win the PTI 25s. We'll see.
Yeah, that's a noble goal.
One day.
It makes you feeling better. I don't qualify for it anymore. So
all right.
Did you drop?
Yeah, of course.
How much did you drop after that tournament?
Oh, I think just a point or two. I think I'm down 3 points so far in the last 2 weeks. So we're on the right track.
I'm up like 9. Yeah.
It's crazy. I literally woke up this morning at like 5:30 and started watching like videos of like on it floor. I'm like, what are we gonna do? Like, what can I do today? And I started sending them like screenshots. I'm like, look, like I'm watching tape at 5:30 in the morning. And I was like, oh my God, Anna's just gonna like assault me on the ad side. Like, I better get my lobs deep. And I kept seeing like she hits her cutters from like the tee or even behind it. So I'm like, how deep do my lobs have to get away from her, like, overheads? And I didn't get away from her overhead. So
the answer, I guess, is further than you were.
Yeah, exactly.
But Floor is tough, right? Like, she's so smart.
She's solid.
She reads the game so well.
I think she was up at 4 a.m. watching tape.
She might have been.
So, she was watching all your tapes. Yeah.
Was most of that just trying to find a tape of you?
Well, she was on the Instagram site looking as hard as she could. But, there was just foot faults. She only saw foot faults.
She was going to call foot fault if it got real tight.
There you go.
And they did, by the way. They did a few times.
Did they?
They were like, you're foot faulting. I'm like, all right. I'm like, no, I don't. I don't foot fault. What are you talking about?
That's awesome. Hey, well, I'm going to real quick, Noah, I've got to say goodnight to my kids. They're FaceTiming me. I will put my phone on mute, but if you guys continue, I will be back in about 30 seconds.
Love to.
Right.
Love to.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. So Ara, let's give a plug to the new clothing line that you guys have for the Paddleboys, right? That looks pretty good. Can you
Fusion
talk
Apparel,
about
they're
that a bit?
amazing. Yeah, I mean, we reached out to them, or they reached out to, I forget how it's kind of started. And they were like, look, we can put a store together for you guys. I mean, they literally handled everything A to Z. We did nothing except for give the logos and things like that. And Dana over at Fusion basically put the store together. She put it all up. And I had one of the sweaters at the Montclair Open. Just, it says, your PI sucks. We figured that was just annoying enough, like just obnoxious enough to really get under people's skin. But people seem to love it. They were all coming up to me like, where do we get one? And I was like, look, Fusion's going to open a store up in a week, which we have done now. And I think people are placing orders. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, awesome. they're just an amazing company. They're awesome. I just encourage everybody to go to them. They do so much for the paddle world. And we just have to support companies like that.
And where can people go to? Well, first of all, how long is the store open for, and where can people go to get the stuff?
I think the store's open for another 12 days. They do these pop-up stores for everyone. So if you go to at the Real Paddleboys on Instagram, we constantly post it. I know at Gear at Fusion, they post it a lot as well. All their stores that are open. So if you go to those sites, you can find the merch
on Instagram. Fantastic.
Yep.
That sounds good.
Hey, I'm back. There's a blue Nike one that says Paddleboys. I've got to order it. It's awesome. I love that one. I've got to get that.
Yeah. And you know what? Like the other thing that's great is like sometimes you look at these sites and you never really know like what the quality is like. All of their stuff is awesome. Like it's all top quality stuff. So you're not getting something like, that you might win at a tournament somewhere, some quarter zip that you're
what?
You never know, right? But no, their stuff is amazing. So they really make sure it's top quality. So
excellent. So yeah.
You want to? Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I said so. So make sure you grab your Paddleboys gear. That's some good stuff for sure.
Yeah.
So at Paddleboys on Instagram, and there'll be a link there to the store if you want to pick some up.
Yeah.
So Ara, as a dedicated paddle player, I think maybe these are now questions that we have to ask people, right?
No.
So as I was traveling recently to someplace that you were at this summer too, which was the Owl's Nest camp for Johanna Steven, I was traveling with the Hinsdale Paddle Boys, to give them a proper plug. So there you go. Mark Perry, Dave Williams, Jason Stuck. And one of them, who I don't want to name, but Dave Williams, gets on the plane. And it's, granted, it was a 5:45 a.m. flight. So I can only imagine he was still tired. But what do you think about wearing neck pillows on a plane? I mean, a little emasculating. What do you think when you're flying?
I heard Graham talking about this last episode too. I like it. It doesn't look good. It looks terrible, but it is comfortable. I mean, you put it on. It's not that comfortable, but it's better than nothing. The problem for me though is I don't sleep on planes, and this is something my wife absolutely hates about me more than anything. I don't do anything on a plane. Like I don't watch a movie. I don't read a book. I don't sleep. I literally just sit and I wait for the plane to land. And she just looks at me. She literally, every now and then she'll just look over at me and say, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm just waiting. Like I'm waiting for the plane to land. I don't know how else to put it."
You don't watch paddle videos or anything? I
don't. I do nothing. And she just
nervous flyer?
No, not at all. I just sit down and I wait.
All right.
And eventually the plane lands and I get off. I mean, it's as simple as that. But she looks at me, she's like, if I did not know you, I would be telling the pilot right now, like, get this guy off the plane.
It's creepy. There's something wrong with him.
Up. Yeah.
It sounds like you sit there with your neck pillow on, even though you're not sleeping. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. Because it does give a little bit of support. And sometimes I do try to play a little game to try to win the armrest. It's a thing that I do. There's an art to it, but you must take over the armrest early and dominate.
Well, let's talk about armrest. My dad was big on the armrest thing. So he's like, listen, if you have the window, you got the window in your right arm.
Mm-mm.
If you've got the aisle, you got the aisle in your left arm, and the middle gets both arms. Is that not
interesting?
No.
That's what my dad he was always like, okay, if you're in the middle, you get both because you got a shitty seat, so you should be able to have both arms.
No. If you're in the middle, you're out of luck, man. Like I'm taking that armrest.
I gotta tell you, I was a little bit out of luck on my flight to Jersey. I had Noah, and then I had a soup. Did you see the size of the guy next to me, Noah? He was like,
no.
arms were out like this at like
Mhm.
5:40 in the morning. I'm sitting there, and then I'm like passing in and out. Like
Did he have a
this. I
neck
just
pillow though? Did he
falling
have a neck
asleep.
pillow also?
Oh,
I,
there's no
I did
neck
not
pillow.
have no
No
neck
neck
pillow, but Noah does like to point at the people with neck pillows and then
No.
insult them to you.
No,
as he says
Ben's a man. He doesn't need a neck pillow.
them.
It looks weird. It looks
Yeah.
weird. It
It
definitely
looks
does.
worse than-
I
looks
like
worse
to
than
fall.
that.
I like to fall forward and shock
That's
myself
right.
awake, and
That's
then
right.
and then
Keep
go
the
back
neck
to
nice
sleep and do
loose.
that 5 or 6 more times as I
Yeah.
fly. Yeah.
Neck loose. All right. Well, so is on a related note, is this a sign of a problem when you cancel spring break with your family because you want to play in team nationals?
Is it a sign of the problem? I mean,
It's a sign of a problem. Yeah. Like, do you have a problem if you cancel your family spring break trip because you want to play in team nationals instead?
yeah, I
Jason
think you have a
stuck.
problem. I think it's a good problem, but I think it is a problem. I mean, we're all addicted to this thing, you know. It is what it is. And I think if we had our choice, we'd cancel every spring break to play. That's the truth behind it. You know?
I think I'm what is it? Oh, I'm playing charities on my I can't say this too loud. My wife's upstairs. I'm playing charities on my anniversary in a couple weeks.
Oh, your last anniversary. That's great.
Might be.
As someone that just played a tournament on someone's birthday, it's an
There you go.
expensive tournament, Noah.
There you go. I'm sure. All right. So, Ara, tell us. You keep a journal after every match, like some people do. Jason Stuck.
I don't, but I want to. I really do. Because so
Really?
many times people will say to me, like, hey, you know, how does this person play? Like, I remember I played them, but I don't always remember how I played them or what their weaknesses are and stuff. I would love to keep a journal. Like, I'm very jealous of Graham and like all the stats that he has. I would love to just dive into all those spreadsheets. I'd kill for something like that. Yeah.
Did Ben well, I should ask Ara. He knows what we talked about on the show. Did we talk about the fact that I introduced myself to the guys at Team Nationals that we played a few hours earlier, talking about keeping a journal and making notes on who you played? Did we talk about that or no?
No, we didn't.
So so Ben knows Arun Chagasi, who plays here in Chicago with me a lot, and we're playing Team Nationals in April, whenever it was, and so we played up at, I think we played at Essex Hunt, which is where I played a match for the Montclair Open. So we're playing up there, and I don't know, we played like a 2:00 in the afternoon match against some guys from, I think, Baltimore. And met the guys, hadn't met them before. Nice match, whatever. I couldn't even tell you who won or lost, to be honest with you. I assume maybe we won. And so like 3 hours later, we went back to the hotel. We come back, we're playing in the semifinals, playing against the same guys, and starting warm-ups, and hey, I'm Noah, nice to meet you guys. And the room goes, you idiot, we played them like 3 hours ago. Couldn't tell. See, now if I would have kept a journal, I wouldn't have had
you'd
that
know,
problem.
right?
Because I would
By the
have.
way, tell him we said hello, because like he sends me DMs all the time. Like, he's a great guy.
Arun,
Yeah,
Arun's the man. Arun's got COVID right now, so I'm sure he appreciates me saying that publicly. But so stay away from Arun for a week. But
I guess he won't be playing our match this week.
Yeah, no, Arun's a good dude for sure. All right, let's why don't we do questions? Why don't we do the rapid fire questions?
Let's do rapid fire questions and get our out of here on a Sunday evening. Here we go. Least favorite opponent.
Oh my God.
Jay Waldenberg is generally the
I
correct
wish
answer.
I would love to meet Jay Waldenberg. I've been hearing about him for years. I'd love to. Actually, I feel like I would love to play against him because I love the long grinding. Like, I would love that. Least opponent. I don't know. I hate guys that just want to finish the match fast. Like they just drive like crazy. Like I love to get into those long 3-hour matches.
All right. Nice. Best shot you've ever hit?
I've hit this shot 3 times, and it's like I'm literally coming all the way across the court, and I hit a backhand slash shot across my body across the court. I did it the other night. I always surprise myself. It's a terrible shot. It's probably a very bad shot to hit.
Those are the best ones. Hey,
but it's just like I've done it 3 times now, and I love it. I get very excited when I do it, but
well, low percentage doesn't mean no percentage.
that's a good point.
Yeah, that's what Noah lives by.
That's right.
Those are his numbers. Yeah.
If there's
All
greater
right.
than a 0% chance, that means there's a chance.
All right, you've got one player to FYM. Who you going at?
Johan, 100%.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, why not?
100%. No doubt about it. So I kind of pride myself, and I tell every single person. I even told Anna and Floor today, no one can hit me with the ball. There's some rules to this game, right? You can only hit the only thing that counts is my face and my chest, like my torso. Arms and legs don't count. All right. And it can't be off a deflection or anything like that. And it's got to be during an actual match. So like when we were at camp, I told Nick and Sven and Mark Inez, I told all of them, I was like, you cannot hit me. And they did everything they could to try to hit me, and they just could not. I'm unhittable.
No one hit you?
No one can hit me. It's amazing. I'm unhittable.
Does that include off the court?
No, it's got to be during a match.
Sorry.
It's got to be during. There's some rules. I said there's rules to this game.
Right.
But I am unhittable. I challenge anyway. Johan, I challenge you. Try and hit
we
me.
gotta
It's
set
impossible.
that up. That's the new My Paddle video.
That seems like such a poor idea.
It's impossible.
It's a terrible
Seems
idea.
like such a bad idea.
I don't know if you guys know MC Visser, but this guy
Sure.
hits the ball harder than anybody that I've seen. Maybe I keep hearing about Ryan Baxter from your show. Maybe he's harder. But I told him, I said, I just want to stand at the net. I don't even want to hold a paddle. I just want to stand there and you hit the ball as hard as you can at my chest. That's all I want.
Happy Gilmore style.
He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, that's all I want.
Ben, I'm starting to see the similarities with that idea and sitting on the plane and just staring and not doing anything at all for a couple-hour plane ride, right? It's like the similar.
Hey, you were talking paddle camp. Nice pictures on the court, by the way.
Oh, it was great. You know, we were.
How much trouble did you get in for that one?
Well, not so much trouble. So like what we did was it was
for
very
those
late
who
at night.
haven't seen, there was a picture of a man with 3 legs. Yeah,
that's true. And we drew that third leg all over the courts in a lot of different places. And then Nick and Sven wake up in the morning, and there's women in our camp too, and they show up early in the morning. They're like, oh my God, like what have these guys done? And we stole their chalk. Like Leon actually stole like 3 or 4 pieces of their chalk, and then we just started drawing like all night. It was a mess. And they actually, like, Sven had to go in the morning and start like etching everything out so that nobody would see our beautiful artwork.
Well, that probably leads into this next question. Drink of choice.
I'm
guessing you guys had been drinking when you did that.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
good.
In the summer, I like.
Otherwise, it would have been 4 legs. Otherwise,
in the summer, I like my high noons. In the winter, I like bourbon, and I started liking this like Schmittix beer. It's like an Irish. It's kind of like a Guinnessy thing. I don't know. I started drinking it at Voltaire's Club, at Louis' Club.
Smithix.
It's written Schmidtwix, but it's pronounced Schmittix, and it's just good. They have it at Ridgewood Country Club, and I drink it when I go there, and I love it.
Is that what Louis drinks?
I did see him drinking. I think he was just drinking an IPA.
Are you able to translate? Because we'd like to have Louis on the show, but we need someone to translate.
We're going to have Max Lepevier is going to come on and translate for us.
No one knows what Louis says. Le pervert, I thought you said, right?
I don't believe that's it either. But
yeah, no one knows what Louis says. We just all look at him and nod. Or like,
you just have to laugh anytime he talks to you.
Yeah, Louis, that's great.
Yeah.
What's your high noon flavor of choice?
I actually don't care. Whatever they have, I drink.
Not black cherry. Black cherry tastes like
I don't care.
It's
like
chemically.
medicine.
Yeah.
I don't mind the black cherry. I don't mind whatever.
Watermelon.
The peach is very good.
Yeah. Watermelon's nice.
All right, let's get back to questions. Best hut in the country. Your favorite hut to go to?
Oh, I keep hearing about these huts in Chicago. We don't have anything like that. The closest we have is Indian Trail, and the Indian Trail. It's not. I don't even call it a hut. I mean, it's a sports bar. It's awesome. I mean, it's very, very nice.
All right.
Indian Trail is nice, but if you haven't been to Chicago, it would be fairly average for Chicago.
Yeah.
What do we compare an Indian Trail to in Chicago?
It's actually fairly similar to Inverness, which is a new club.
I haven't been to that new hut yet.
But what else? It would be. What else would it be like? It would be kind of like Westmoreland a little bit. The layout.
That's a nice hut.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Best tournament or favorite tournament that you go to?
So there are two. There are two that I love. One of them is the Jersey Classic, right? You can't get away from that. That thing's amazing. Rob Scanoni does an amazing job. There's another one though. It's a less known tournament. It's called the Last Chance Tournament, and Greg Robertson hosts that one. He's an umpire with the APTA, and that is unfortunately I couldn't go to team nationals this year because I went to Last Chance, and like Last Chance you can't get into. Like it's like you have to be somehow invited to this thing. And if I could just tell a brief story,
Yeah.
it would be great. So I post Greg Rob. They call him G Rob, right? I post him on Football Friday. Somebody sent me a video. This guy apparently is like, "What is this? Like, what's going on? Who is this person?" Right? So he starts calling around trying to find out who it is. Like, so I get a phone call. I'm like, "Yo, this guy G Rob's looking for you. Like, he wants to know who it is." Like, give me his number. Like, give me his cell number. So I texted him. I'm like, G Rob, I'm the one who posted you up. He's like, "You're fucking dead." He's like, "You're dead." This and that. So he's going on and on, right? Now he doesn't know that Tuesday I had a match against him. Right? So and it was an hour away, right? It was far. So I'm driving down there and I'm going to be late. And my partner's over there. And he's like, "Dude, this guy's getting annoyed." He's like, "Where is he? He's late." I'm like, "Tell him Ara is late because he needed to stop for Chick-fil-A. And he really likes Chick-fil-A." And I was like, what Chick-fil-A? What are you talking about? And my partner's like, "I don't know, man. He really likes Chick-fil-A." He really likes Chick-fil-A. So now G-Rob's like fuming, right? So then I finally get there and I'm wearing at the time, I'm wearing my Master Boys shirt, right? So he looks at me, he looks up, he's like, You're the one." I'm like, "I'm the one that pushed me there." So it's great. We played a match. It was great. We won. I hope he hears that one. And then, but afterwards in the hut, they were awesome. And like, we got to be friends, and he invited me to this Last Chance tournament. It's amazing. They do such a great job. Like the food is great. They have cigars. I heard like they have like, the last year they didn't have it, but I heard they have like massage people there. Like it's amazing. It's a great time.
Is that the one where you win like a blazer, like a really ugly blazer?
Yes,
That's another
yes.
Jersey thing. Is that it?
Yes, that's right. You win like this weird blazer, take pictures of him. It's a great tournament. But that one and the Jersey Classic are just the two best. Like you can't miss those events. They're amazing.
All right. You're commentating on Pro Flight on the 27th.
Yes.
Which the link will be on Pro Flight Paddle on YouTube.
Mhm.
Who's your favorite commentator when you're watching paddle? Who do you enjoy listening to?
Everyone says it. It's got to be Innes. It's got to
Right.
be Innes. It's probably the accent. I don't know what it is, but it's like he's got great energy. He's funny. He's got really insightful commentary, and he's a good dude.
He is. Yeah. Favorite partner?
Oh my
Well,
God.
he hasn't
You're gonna
played with
get
you
me in-
yet, Ben.
You're gonna get me in so much
know.
trouble.
Come on.
I really do enjoy playing with Leon. I really love
Good.
it. Yeah, we always have fun. We're always in sync. We win or lose, we have a great time out there. I played the Last Chance with them. Like it was just, I really do love playing with him.
Hey, Ben, it sounds like Leon broke up with him. That's what happened to the partnership. That's why.
No
That's
comment.
why.
We're not
The
we're not
truth is
starting
coming out
rumors.
now. I see.
You'll have to ask him. It's possible, but it's a sore subject.
All right. We know you watch a lot of paddle. Next
Yep.
player that's going to win nationals that hasn't won one yet, in your opinion, male or female?
Female, I think it's going to be Roxy. I think
That's where I was
Roxy
going.
and Gabby are solid. I do like Lynn and Eliza. I think they're
Mhm.
solid. I have to say, Lauren, right? Like Lauren's right there. Like she just crushes the ball. I play against her all the time, and that drive is nasty. It's just nasty. On the men's side, I mean, Rams is right there. I mean, he's so good. Yeah, I'd probably have to say him.
You
He's
think,
really solid.
shout out to Adam Morgan and Tyler Fraser, who won the Medina tournament this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, that's
a
amazing.
solid team.
They're
right?
amazing.
Yeah.
They're fun to watch too. They're just great.
They at one point they rolled off I think 9 games in a row against Compton McNerney today, which is
Did they
no
really?
easy
That's
feat.
impressive.
Yeah, they were down. I left my house to go watch it. They were down 3-1, and they won the set 6-3, and then we're up 3-0 in the second set. I think they won.
How did they handle that Compton backhand? I mean, that thing's nasty.
Don't give him any.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess so.
Although the forehand is probably just as good now. I think
It is just as good because
Yeah.
Great.
well, he said that when he was on the show. He goes, thank you to all my paddle partners in Chicago who never hit me a backhand because my forehand got good. Who's the best player ever, you think, in your opinion?
It's hard for me to say ever because I haven't really been in the scene that long, right? Like
Right.
I haven't, it hasn't been 10 years. I've been playing for about 5 or 6 years, and I've really got into it the last couple of years. So, I mean, Johan is just insane. And you know what? Like one thing about him is it's amazing to watch him on live stream. It's 10 times more amazing to see what the guy does in person. It's just it's just different. He moves weird. He moves differently. Like he does not look like the other players on the court. He just doesn't. You know
what I like about him? I feel like he's so innovative. Every time I see him play, he hits a shot, and I go, I've never seen anyone do that before.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could invent like
and effortlessly.
It looks so easy.
Right.
I think he does that to make it interesting for himself. Seriously, I think he does. I mean, I don't know. I'm just me guessing, but I think he gets bored with playing more traditional ways, and I think he kind of comes up with new ways to keep himself entertained and try to win that way.
Well, it's very exciting. I love it.
To your point, obviously I have a New York Rangers hat on. I'm assuming a hockey fan. It's like I think just in general for people that if you watch live streaming, if you have the chance, like you should go out and watch a local tournament if you have one in whatever area you're in, or anywhere close. It's like much like hockey. I think it's one thing to watch paddle on TV or hockey on TV. It's so much different watching it live. It's just you get a much better scene for the whole thing.
I feel like 90% of the play. I'm making up these numbers, but I feel like 90% of people who play paddle have never been to a tournament or been in a tournament, and it's crazy to me because once you do, like you just can't wait. Like when's the next tournament I play? Like it's so much fun. So if you've never played a tournament, get into something, anything, whatever, a local tournament. I know Mike Franco has those turbo tournaments, which I really, really hope he brings those to the East Coast because I'm dying to get into one of those. But I mean, it's just it's so much fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Favorite superhero?
I don't know.
Come on,
Superhero. I like Robin. Robin's cool.
What?
Oh, it's because
Robin ever says Robin. Why?
Robin wore the neck pillow. That's why.
Why can't anybody love Robin?
Robin was a neck pillow wearer.
Why can't everyone like Robin? I love Robin. Robin's my guy.
All right. Well, let's move on from that one very quickly. One player that you've never played with, the past or present, anytime in the game, and I know you've only been playing 5 or 6 years, that you would want to play with. Who would you love to be on the same side of the net as?
Dick Squires, baby, all the way. Dick
Only
Squires.
with the pants, though. Only with
Dick
the pants.
Squires, that's
Dick
good.
Squires, he's the man.
All right. Last one. Actually, I got 2. I want you to tell a story before we get you out of here. And last question though. Favorite swear word?
Favorite swear word.
Come on.
My kids listening here. I don't know.
You can give the
I'm
first
not
letter,
a big.
and we
I'm
can
not
all
a big
guess.
cursor.
Okay, that's good. I like that. Good.
I guess shit.
There you go.
That's
it.
I probably say it all the time when I
Own
when
it.
it's a shot. It is what
It's a
it
little
is.
weak, but okay.
Yeah, I mean,
That's all right.
Yeah.
Own it. Real quick, and I think this happened before we started recording, but you told a story of you're a paddle junkie, and when you moved to Washington, will you tell tell everyone your Seattle paddle court story real quick?
So when I went out, I moved out to Seattle for work. I went to work for Amazon there, and first thing I did was try to locate a paddle court. And I looked all over. I found one court in the entire state of Washington, and it's the closest thing I found. And now I was like, all right, I got to get this guy's email address. Like, I got to get on that court. I found his email. I sent him an email. I said, hey, I'm moving out to Seattle. Is there any way we can play? I see you have the only court out there. And he's like, oh yeah, it'd be great. I'd love to have you come out sometime and play. And my next email was like, well, I didn't mean to come out one time. Like, I'm going to be at your house every day. Like you don't know who you're dealing with. And that was the last time he responded to me. So I never actually got to play out in Seattle. Yeah, it was very unfortunate. I never actually got a chance to play. But when I left, actually, we had like a little going away party, And some of the members of the club put like "No paddle in Seattle" like T-shirts because they knew I was just going to be miserable out there without paddle. And we moved back. I like to say primarily because there was no paddle out there. I couldn't deal.
All right. Well, you have been a legend. And Ara from the Paddleboys, we appreciate you coming on the show. You and I have been talking about this for freaking probably a year now. So thank you for making it happen. Thank you for being on the show. And we're going to have you back on very soon and weekly with Deep Thoughts.
Deep Thoughts with Dick Squires. It's awesome.
There you go.
All right. Thanks, guys. Awesome.
Absolutely. Thanks, Ara.
I like it.
Hi, this is Ara from the Real Paddleboys, and you're listening to Inside the Wires, the best podcast on the planet.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Nailed it. All right.
We'll edit that up and get it out. What, Thursday, Friday, possibly? Hopefully.
Yeah, we'll get out Thursday. All right, so we have to record an intro and outro. We'll let Ara go at 10, quarter to 10.
All right, guys.
Good
Thank
stuff.
you so much. Great
Thanks,
talking
buddy.
to you guys, and we'll see you soon.
All right.
Appreciate
Hey,
it.
what are you doing next weekend? I might need someone for Philly.
Give me a call. Let me know. I might be available.
He's currently weighing up how angry his
Wait,
wife
what's
will be
the
at
dates? Yes, that's exactly what I was doing. Actually,
it's Saturday. It's a week from today. It's a week from yesterday. What is that?
I'm in it.
29th.
I'm playing a tournament. The problem is I'm playing a tournament on Sunday.
We'll be done long before then. Don't worry.
I'm aware of that, but I'm like,
No, he's aware of that.
OBL out by lunch.
let me see if I can make it so that it's like, well, it's a 2-day tournament.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see. I'll do my best.
All right, there you go.
All right, I'll see you guys later.
All right,
Thanks,
take
buddy.
care.
Appreciate
All
it.
right, bye-bye.
That was great.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Say this after every episode, but it's so easy. We just get talking.
Yeah. No, you're still talking. We're still recording, so this is good.
Do you
People are
want to,
digging the YouTube stuff, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they get to see you. Look at your hair and everything. You look fantastic.
Something. You want to record intro, outro real quick?
I'd love to. What do you want to do?
Okay.
Which one? What do you?
Which one would you like? You choose, big boy.
I would like to do the intro.
Done. Knock it out.
Okay. All right. Think about it. Okay, I got it. All right, welcome back to Inside the Wires. We have a fantastic show for you today. I mean, they're all fantastic, but this one's just a fun conversation with someone who has made paddle more interesting the last couple of years. We've got Ara from the Real Paddleboys, who a crazy good social media account and lots of entertaining stuff. Football Fridays. He's going to talk about that. He's going to talk about social media. He's going to talk about all things paddle and plenty of things non-paddle, and it'll be a great conversation. So thanks for listening today. I think you're really going to like this episode. Take a listen.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Me?
Yeah.
Let's go. Fade to Black, roll the credits. Thank you so much to Ara from the Real Paddleboys for coming on the show today. Truly, I've been trying to get him on for like a year, and just schedules and all of that never worked. Just a super nice guy. The second I met him in Montclair in person, we're like, hey, buddies. And just paddle needs more of this. These fun accounts and the fun side of the game. So, let's get more paddle boys out there. Let's get more fun into the game. So thank you to Ara for coming onto the show today. We appreciate everyone. I always say this, that's listening to my stupid voice at the end of the show. If you're still listening, you are a real fan, and we appreciate you. So thank you so much. And we are out of here.
And remember, say no to neck pillows.